I think intelligent people accidentally build dumb businesses. And I mean that respectfully, because I'm talking about myself too. Smart people love systems. Smart people love optimization. They love frameworks. And smart people love software. They love complexity, and complexity feels productive. It feels more sophisticated. It feels like you're doing something really important. But here's what I've actually noticed. Customers reward simplicity. Employees reward clarity. And the market rewards speed. And intelligent people reward complexity, which means the very thing that made you successful can actually become the thing that slows you down. Because somewhere along the way, you stop asking, what's the simplest solution? How do I get from point A to point B the fastest? And start asking, what's the smartest solution? Those are not the same question. And the smartest solution usually comes with 6 apps, 3 meetings, 2 dashboards, and a Notion board nobody updates. Meanwhile, the answer was probably call the customer, just send the email, launch the page already, raise the price of that product, and you're done. That's what I want to talk about today, because I think some of the smartest businesses I've ever seen are accidentally making life 10 times harder for themselves than it needs to be. Everything has a carrying cost. Everybody talks about upside. Nobody talks about maintenance, because every decision creates a tax. That new product, inventory tax. Another new channel you're launching into, attention tax. A new employee to hire, communication and training tax. Another dashboard to launch, decision tax. Another meeting, speed tax. And another approval that we need in order to launch something, momentum tax. And here's what smart people do. They see the upside. They don't think about the carrying cost. 10 products, sure, sounds super exciting, but nobody actually talks about the 10 different pages that you'll need, the 10 different inventories that you'll have to manage, the reorder schedules, the different creatives, that's way more than 10, the replenishment flows, the varying customer service questions that come up, new promotions, forecasts. Launching something seems easy, but maintaining it is where it gets expensive. And businesses don't usually die from one giant mistake, they die from 1,000 tiny cuts that nobody thought about maintaining. Reporting can become more work. This one makes me laugh. A brand starts with Shopify, then adds GA4, then Triple Whale, then Northbeam to see if that's better. Add on a Looker Studio report that you created, 5 to 10 spreadsheets, a few screenshots from Slack, a few Slack channels, Monday reports, and now everybody spends 3 hours arguing about attribution and which to trust. Nobody improves the business. They just debate which number is actually correct. The dashboard became the work. Reporting exists to support decisions, not just to replace them. I see brands with 5 dashboards and no real answers because information doesn't give you clarity. Sometimes it's just noise with a million charts. Now, marketing complexity. This happens in marketing all the time. People hear simple and think one campaign, one ad, pray to Mark Zuckerberg. No, that's the stupid thing to do. There's a happy medium. Complexity should exist where it creates leverage. Let's say purchases are your goal. Great, that's going to be your one campaign. Maybe 2 if you're separating acquisition and retention separately. Within that campaign, maybe you've got different offers, a hero product, supporting products, a bundle that you want to launch, a sample, different offer. Those deserve their own ad sets because they're fundamentally different asks. And inside those ad sets, multiple ads, different concepts that hit on different pockets of the audience and different personas, different desires, different awareness levels, enough variety so the algorithm can find different audiences to serve your ads to. But not 50 ads, not 300 moving pieces, not 20 different campaigns. Enough complexity to create leverage, but not enough complexity to create too much confusion. Because here's what ends up happening. A brand has 7 different campaigns, 30 ad sets within those, 80 ads, and 3 agencies over the last 2 years. Nobody knows why anything exists or really what's working. Nobody remembers why the structure was built that way to begin with, but everybody is afraid to touch it and change it. That's not really sophistication, that's archaeology. The account became a museum of campaigns. And I see this everywhere. Not enough structure creates chaos, but too much structure and that creates paralysis. The answer is appropriate complexity. Now, smart people tend to optimize stupid things. And this one tends to hurt because people spend 20 hours debating different headlines, 3 weeks discussing different logos, 4 meetings deciding CTA colors alone, and 2 months choosing project management software, afraid to make the wrong decision. Meanwhile, nobody actually calls the customer, nobody reads through the reviews, nobody looked at those support tickets, and nobody improved the onboarding process or fixed repeat purchases. Because smart people optimize things that feel controllable, but those aren't necessarily the things that matter. It's easier to debate software than confront the fact that your offer actually sucks. It's easier to redesign the homepage than to call 10 customers and get real feedback. It's easier to argue about attribution than realize retention is terrible. And sometimes intelligence gives us really sophisticated ways to avoid uncomfortable work. That leads to smart people over-engineering solutions. I swear some founders would rather build NASA than send an email. They'll spend 6 weeks designing an AI workflow, 2 months picking software, 3 different meetings discussing automation, when the real answer is just send that email. Just call the customer. Launch the page and start getting data. Raise the price of that product. Done. Because building systems, it feels safe. Execution feels like you're exposed. And honestly, I think a lot of over-engineering is just fear. Fear of making the wrong decision, fear of looking stupid, fear that the simple answer is the best. Because if the answer is simple, then there's nowhere to hide. No fancy process that you can blame later, no software that caused you to have issues, no dashboard with incorrect information, no framework that caused the whole thing to collapse, just your execution. And that can be really uncomfortable. But great businesses eliminate more than they add. The best businesses I've seen aren't obsessed with adding new things every time. They're obsessed with removing. They want to kill those extra meetings, get less priorities, fewer approvals needed to get things launched, fewer apps to have to manage and that can go wrong, fewer products that they have to worry about inventory and replenishment with, fewer reports and distractions. Not because simple is always better, because complexity has to earn its right to exist. One of my favorite questions to ask is, what would happen if we just deleted this? Would customers notice? Would revenue actually change? Or would everyone secretly be relieved? And another favorite, if we started over today, would we build it the same way? And most of the time the answer is a resounding no. Okay, then why are we keeping it this way? Because history, because it's comfortable, because inertia, not because it's actually right or the easiest. So here's my take. Smart people don't fail because they lack intelligence. Not at all. They fail because intelligence convinces them complicated means better. And that's the dangerous part, because complexity feels impressive and simple feels way too obvious. But customers don't reward your complexity. Employees certainly don't reward your complexity, and the market doesn't reward your complexity. Only other smart people admire your complexity, honestly. Customers are going to reward clarity and ease of use. Teams will reward clarity. Growth will come. And honestly, I think some founders accidentally create work for themselves because complexity gives them something beautiful, an excuse. If everything is complicated enough, there's always something else to blame. Simple systems remove the excuses and the things to hide behind. And that's uncomfortable because now execution matters more than anything else. So before you go and you add another app, or you schedule another meeting with the team, or you build another dashboard, launch another new product, or go out on another new channel, ask yourself, what problem is this actually solving? And what complexity am I buying in exchange? Because your next breakthrough probably isn't hiding behind more things. It's hiding behind less. And if you want someone to help identify where complexity is creating friction in your business, well, that's what we do. We help brands simplify, prioritize, and remove the things that are slowing growth. Check out the link below, schedule a call with us today. If this hits home, send it to another founder, because some of the smartest people I know are accidentally making life way harder than it needs to be.